Hello, welcome back. My name is Francesca, and here we talk about financial freedom, personal finance, investing, business, and everything else related to that. Now, today I wanted to make a video that I haven't really done anything similar to before, and that is a review of Trading 212. It's kind of supposed to be a beginner's guide to it. So I want to show you, for example, if you set up an account, what's that looking like, what are the main features, what are the main functionalities of the app, and so hopefully to really show you that it's easy, it's simple, and anyone can do it. Trading 212 is one that I use, is one that I got started with, and I've heard that it's not the most intuitive or user-friendly, and that there are other ones such as Freetrade, for example, that are a bit more intuitive, I guess. But from my perspective, and from not having used any other ones, I really like it. I find it still quite easy, and especially the app. They also have a web version, a desktop version, which is a bit more technical and even overwhelming. Like, the app is super streamlined and simple. So today we're going to be focused on the two accounts that are the Invest and the ISA accounts, not the CFD, because it's not something that A, I would recommend, and B, I have ever used. So I wouldn't even be able to, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to run you through the the different options there. But honestly, I don't recommend you do that, honestly. So we're just gonna skip over it in this video, but let's just start then. Nice. So you can see from here, we are in the Invest account, which is the the most straightforward one, really, and the the first account that you see, and you're seeing now all the different ETFs. So if we go to my watch list, this is usually the first thing you will see, and these are of course different ETFs that I have kind of like selected and that I find interesting. So we have some REITs as well, such as Realty Income. You can see, and then also some individual stocks such as Procter & Gamble, Vion, Gilead, Beyond Meat. Yeah, so all different ones that I, at some point in my life, have decided that I found interesting, and so I've added them to the watch list. Now, the way you would do this is you could go to Popular, for example, and of course we have Uber, surprisingly, I want to say, but it's pretty simple. So you would click on Uber, and you can find the different stock price, the differences, the changes, and from until market close, so plus 4.67%. You can see the different company details, which is one of the most fascinating things that I find on of Trading 212, is that they offer some educational stuff as well. The CEO, and then if you go down, you can see some key ratios like market cap, P ratio, revenue, etc., etc. But yeah, in order to add that to your watch list, you would literally just go here, this button, my watch list, and I would add it. And now if I go back into that, then I would find it at the top. So very, very simple. Now, actually, if we go back there, I wanted to show you, they have all these different financial summaries, helping you understand how the company is doing. It's a very good introduction if you have never done some income statement, balance sheets, like if you've never analyzed them. It's super easy and useful to have them all here. Now, again, it could seem a bit overwhelming, and again, by no means do you need to understand all of these in order to invest. Of course, the more the better, but there are also just a few key indicators that I like to look at when investing in stocks. But the thing is, I just like having the opportunity to have this, right? So that if I wanted to, I could look at the financials and understand how a company is doing. Then the next thing that we can look into is, of course, you have all these different categories. So you have the ETFs, which is my favorite, asset class, of course, of all them. US stocks, new on Trading 212, so ones that they have just now added to the family, let's say. and this upcoming earnings, right? So yeah, when the earnings reports are gonna come in from these companies. Now you can see Slack, Costco, Smile Direct, etc. Now you can customize this, right? So you can, for example, move these around, like if you wanted different categories, like I don't know, let's say that you wanted ETFs to be at the beginning, right? So before popular, then you could do that, and this is what this would look like. Now you see that I have the £0 on this account just because I primarily use I only use the ISA account really, and I have now used up all my ISA allowance for this year. And so until April 6th, I won't be able to invest any more money in this account. But if I wanted to, that's why now I also have £0 in this invest account. If I wanted to deposit funds, it's super easy. So here it says, like the free funds that you have, portfolio that you have, of course, account value. But yeah, so if I wanted to deposit funds, I would click on that button. And then, of course, I have already connected my bank account to Trading212. If you have, of course, like if you're new and you haven't done that, it literally takes 2 minutes, if even that, to do that. So of course I won't run you through that now, but it's super streamlined and simple, and so you just follow the instructions and you do that, and then it would bring you over to Barclays and you just follow the steps there. We're not going to do that now because I don't want to show you my Barclays account, but this is literally how this would look like, and it's super simple. Nice. So then these were like the that's the main home, let's say. Now you can see this pie symbol. So if you go on it again, you can see that my portfolio is empty because I don't have any pies on this Trading212 Invest account. I do have some in my ISA, which I may show you later. But yes, so they have something super cool, which is the Pi library. So if you open the Pi library, you can see other people's pies, sorry. And this is so cool because it's kind of like at the intersection between social media and sharing platforms and investing, and it makes investing such a community activity, a communal activity almost, which I find so cool. And then of course now this is not by default like this. Like if you create a pie, it won't be shared automatically, right? So don't worry about if you want to keep it private. But if you want to, then you have the possibility. Now, Paul Briscoe is one of my favorite YouTubers here in the UK personal finance movement, let's say. So let's see what his pie looks like, right? So you can see that he has 27 slices in his pie. You can see that 6.8 thousand people copied this pie, so you can model yours based on what he has done. And so you can see also views, but then most importantly the average annual return, which is based on 5-year historical market performance, and it sits at 11.5%. Now this is great, right? And again, past performance is not mean an indicator of future performance, but again, it gives us a pretty good idea of the type of stocks that he has on this. You can see that there's a little explanation, and then you can actually see the slices, right? So he's got emerging markets 7%, Walt Disney, Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson, etc. Now I know that he has he's a dividend investor, so that's probably why he has selected these stocks and ETFs. But yeah, so and then if you wanted to, you could, for example, copy Pi, right? So you could have that and start investing pretty much immediately in the same allocation that he has, right? And so next, and you would have to, it makes you select whether you want to auto invest, so set an investment schedule and automate your deposits, or do that manually, so using the free funds in your account. So we can just do that, and we can call it Paul Briscoe Pi, right? Just because this is his name. Create Pi, and then now if we go back to my portfolio, we would see that there is the Paul Briscoe, and I misspelled his name. Oh well, anyways, there's the Paul Briscoe pie, right? And of course, there's no money invested in it, but we can see the holdings. These are it, right? So you can see all the different ones mimicking what he has done, and yeah, so this is pretty much it. It's pretty simple. Now you can of course just research stocks. You can do that by kind of dividend growth, high volatility, and these are stocks. And then we can look into ETFs like commodity funds, fixed income funds, REITs, etc. So I really like that they categorize them already for you. Now let's say that we wanted to find let's see, Peloton, right? So we would just go in and write Peloton, and there it goes. We find it, and then if you want to add it to the watch list, my watch list, and there you go. So it's super easy, super simple. And then here finally on this, the main menu, you can see the get the free share. So there is a referral program. I'm part of that, and I'll leave you my link below. What it does is that we both get a free share, a free stock. So that's pretty sweet. But yeah, so once you deposit and once you open your account, feel free to do that. Manage funds, you can move about your funds, from the invest to ISA, etc., etc. You can deposit schedule, etc., etc. Videos, this is a section that I really like as well. And basically it's as you see, investing 101, stock investing, technical analysis for beginners. It's so cool, honestly, especially this last one. I've had a look, but there's still so much that I need to learn about this. And they have a super easy way of explaining, kind of like the rate of change, oscillator explained, 3 candle patterns explained, like all these things that they're even a bit more advanced, right? They're kind of like advanced technical analysis topics, but they explain them in super easy ways. And so yeah, I've watched not really many of the technical analysis one, but I've watched quite a lot of the stock investing ones, etc. So I would highly recommend checking this out if you want to learn more. And this was pretty much it. So you have the economic calendar, so it tells you like the main events, let's say, that are happening in the next few days. You can see Saturday, of course, nothing happened. On Friday, like all these things are Italy retail sales, that was released and stuff like that. So that's quite I rarely check this, honestly, but it's good to have the option. And we were just here. And then price alerts, you can, for example, you can select a company that you want to keep track of. And I don't know, you can, for example, you can tell Trading 212 to warn you, to let you know when, for example, the stock price for Slack goes down to 39. And then they'll send you a notification once that hits, so that in case you want to invest at that point, then you'll be able to. I again rarely use this just because I don't really pick individual stocks, but of course super cool to have the option, right? And then the rest I'm not going to go into details here because it's all pretty straightforward. Now one last thing actually is the switch to practice. One cool thing that Trading 212 has is that they have this option of giving you basically £50,000 free money, fake money, of course. So but they give you these nominal £50,000 to exercise with, right? So you can practice a bit, investing. You can make some decisions just to get started and see that hey, you won't mess this up, right? And it's pretty cool actually. I use that a bit in the beginning. Is just so that you get familiar with the whole investing, and then you can switch to the actual investing, right, with real money. But yeah, so this was pretty much it. If we wanted to switch to my ISA, it's here and here, right? So we are at 28, almost £29,000. It tells you the ISA utilization, right? So that's from every year you have £20,000 max. So some of them, of course, were from the year before, and then the other 20,000 were from the financial year 2020. And I've already deposited the maximum amount allowed, and it's very cool that it tells you, right? Because otherwise, you run the risk of over investing and going above what you're allowed to do, which is illegal. So of course it's very good that they keep track of that for you. But yeah, so for now, for this past year, for this next month, I'm just going to wait it out, potentially invest in a bit more cryptos, and then from April 6th I will start investing again in through my ISA wrapper. And yeah, so these are my investments here. You can see my pies. My pies. So we have an ARK Innovation pie and a Life Strategy pie. So hopefully this was useful for you. If you want to learn more about the Trading 212 app, how it works, and if I haven't covered some of the things, which I'm sure I haven't, right, let me know. Of course, I'm happy to answer any questions in the comments, and if you have any questions, yeah, feel free to ask that, and I'll see you in the next video.